anti-racist project, we have decided to expose the connection between the coded racial rhetoric in the Republican Party and the corresponding rise of Donald Trump in this year's 2016 presidential election. Enjoy.
Discussing the fact that 93% of blacks in America are killed by other blacks. We're talking about the exception here.
Well, look, first of all,
go ahead, Mike. No, but this is about a distrust issue.
We are talking about the significant exception. 93% of blacks are killed by other blacks.
Let me respond to that.
I would like to see the attention. I'd like to see the attention paid to that you are paying to this.
That's a false equivalency that the mayor has drawn, which has exacerbated tensions that are deeply embedded in American culture. Black people who kill black people go to jail. Black people who kill black people go to jail. White people who are policemen who kill black people do not go to jail. If a jury can indict a ham sandwich, why is it taking so long?
Insignificant child that is killed by another black child. Why aren't you
protesting that? Those people go to jail. I do protest it. I'm a minister. They go to jail. Why don't you talk about the way in which white policemen have undercut the ability of Americans to live?
You cut it down so many white police officers don't have to be in black areas.
They don't have to be. It's a matter of the effect of the state occupying those forces, sir.
How about 70? The white police officers won't be there if you weren't killing each other.
Look at this.
Hang on.
This is the defensive mechanism of white supremacy at work in your mind.
All right, Mike, I'm going to stop it there. Michael Eric Dyson, Mayor Giuliani, as you can see, this has a lot of tension to it.
As you can see from this video clip, Rudy Giuliani is promoting negative imagery as well as the hyper-criminalization of the African-American community. When respected leaders of the Republican Party have been doing things like this for years, it should come as no surprise when Donald Trump does this.
Long time, and I never saw any racism from you. However, when you tweet out a thing, and this bothered me, I got to tell you, you tweeted out that whites killed by blacks, these were statistics you picked up from somewhere, at a rate of 81%. And that's totally wrong. Whites killed by blacks is 15%. Yet you tweeted it was 81%.
And it did. It came out of a radio show and other places because you see all the names.
Look, you know I'm looking out for you, right? You know that? You know I'm looking out for you. I look out for every honest politician. I don't care what party they're in. Don't do this. Don't put your name on stuff like this because it makes the other side, it gives them stuff to tell the ill-informed voter that you're a racist. I mean, you just handed them the platform.
As you can see from these clips, Donald Trump is not uniquely racist. He is instead capitalizing upon the racial rhetoric that has existed within the Republican Party for years in order to align white workers with corporate interests. It should also be noted that Bill O'Reilly doesn't seem to have a problem with the racial rhetoric, but instead sees it as a way for liberals to pin him as a racist.
There's no question a wall between the USA and Mexico is needed simply to stop the tons of hard narcotics flowing into America. The drug cartels control much of Mexico, and that's not likely to improve anytime soon. We need to stop the madness down there and secure our border. A wall will not solve every problem, but it can be effective. As the Israelis have shown the world, it's worked over there. Once an effective barrier is built, illegal aliens currently living here can be dealt with in a fair way. They'll all have to register with the federal government, all of them. And then Congress should pass a series of new laws defining their status. Those who have broken immigration law are not entitled to citizenship.
In this clip, O'Reilly stresses the need for a border to be built between the United States and Mexico in order to stop the smuggling of drugs into the United States. O'Reilly makes the assumption that all those crossing the border from Mexico are involved in some type of drug-related activity. Though this may not sound blatantly racist, O'Reilly's assumption implies a one-dimensional stereotype about Latinos being drug dealers, instead of looking at the various reasons as to why they could be crossing the border in the first place. He also uses the term illegal aliens to refer to Mexicans who cross the border into the United States. The term illegal alien not only is dehumanizing, but it also implies that those crossing the border from Mexico are unwelcome in the United States.
Finest When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're not sending you. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people.
The people are speaking clearly, and there's two ways to go. Anger and nationalism, which has been done before in history.
Whoa.
And you can go for nationalism, you can go for anger.
Donald Trump is Adolf Hitler?
If you look at what's happening in with Donald Trump and his playing to the lowest common denominator and to the anger in us, you know, Adolf Hitler, we all look at Adolf Hitler in 1940. We should look at Adolf Hitler in 1929. He was a kind of a funny kind of character that said the things that people were thinking.
Donald Trump is now saying Muslims should not be allowed to enter this country until the U.S. figures out what's going on. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I do.
Why?
I don't want them here. Who knows what they're going to bring into this country? What, bombs? ISIS? What? They need to go.
He's not the only supporter backing Trump's call for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the U.S.
Are you in favor of bombing terrorist homes?
Absolutely. Absolutely. People will continue to reproduce, and they will raise children in their beliefs.
Somebody just needs to go in there and take control of this. I just think it's going rampant, and I'm worried about America, worried about our safety. They're getting in. They need to be stopped.
When you listen to the statements made by Glenn Beck and Donald Trump, it creates a warped and distorted perception of how we view certain groups and minorities here in the United States. Since post 9/11, Muslim Americans have been targeted for hate crimes, as well as racial disparity regarding their race, religion, and background. This not only creates a rift, but a separation in our society. Sometimes, educating yourself and being informed on the matter at hand goes a long way, because then you become more knowledgeable on the fact and the situation that's being presented to you, rather than just being fed information from the media.